Okay. All right. So it looks like our YouTube might have a little bit snapped off there, but that's all right. We'll start here. This is the Modern Hebrew. For those of you joining on YouTube, I kind of got the recording started a little late, but we're looking at the Routledge Introductory Course, Modern Hebrew. We are on lesson 35, Shloshim Ve'Hamesh. And so we already did this one here. You'll have to look on the Facebook live feed to see that. So we're gonna start here on Mukadam Me'uhar. So like early and late. So notice Mukadam means early and Me'uhar means late. So that's what we're working with right now. Okay, they're often used as adverbs. They follow and modify verbs with which they do not necessarily agree in number and gender. Pay attention to that. For example, Hayom anaknu, today we, kamim mukdam. So notice this kamim here, it's part of kam, which is masculine singular, but if we're talking about anaknu, we're talking about plural people, right? We're saying we in first person, we, anaknu. So basically it's saying, Hayom anaknu kamim, today we get up mukdam, which is late, or early rather. We got up early. Got to remember that. Mukdam is early. Let's see here. I keep getting these text messages. I need to stop my notification here. All right, so they may also serve as adjectives when referring to the noun sha'ah. Remember, sha'ah means hour, the hour of. It's talking about time. In such cases, they agree with the noun. For example, okay, so let's take a look at this one here. Dan holek, so Dan is going. Let's see, lishon. This is like two, I'm trying to remember, let's see, Dan holek lishon. Basha'a meuharet. Okay, yeah.
Dan holech lishon בשעה מאוחרת.
Okay, that's right. So Dan goes to bed. So this is to bed. In other words, it might kind of mean like lie down. Might mean to lie down to sleep. Lishon. So Dan holek lishon basha'a.
Dan holech lishon בשעה מאוחרת.
Me'oheret. Notice this here. This is in the feminine singular. The me'oheret word for late is feminine singular. So where are they getting this? How are they getting the feminine singular when clearly Dan is a man? He's masculine singular. Okay, so look at this. They may also serve as adjectives when referring to the noun sha'ah. In such cases, they agree with the noun. Okay, so Dan holek lishon basha'ah me'oheret. And so probably, you know what? It's probably reflecting this right here. Remember, every word in Hebrew has a gender and number. And so it's reflecting the adjective and the noun, sha'ah. So it's not reflecting off of Dan. It's talking about in the hour. And in that hour, it's late. Therefore, the hour is the one we're looking at to determine the gender. And so and grammatically, that's why the late one is going to reflect femininity, because the hour is feminine. See that? That's how that works. So with Hebrew, you have to figure out which word is it reflecting off of to get the gender and the number. That's the important part too. Okay, so note that a person cannot be me'uhar or mukdam. A person can't be early or late. It is a aspect of time. So it's directly reflecting to time. For example, the sentence, Ruth is late for class, is equivalent to, look at this, Ruth ba'a, that means comes. Me'uhar, late, lakita. Look at that. Root comes, me'uhar. Remember, coming has to do with time. There's a time aspect to coming somewhere. You're coming normally. It's in other words, when you say that Janet is going or coming to the store, usually it has to do with an element of there's a time involved. Okay, root ba'a me'ohar lakita, and this is to class. Root ba'a me'ohar lakita.
רות באה מאוחר לכיתה.
Yeah, Ruth came late to class.
רות באה מאוחר לכיתה.
Okay, so let's take a look at this here. Here are two useful expressions that use the words me'ohar, this is the late one, and mukdam, early. Okay, all right, so let's look at this. Kivar me'ohar, it's already late. Remember, this kivar is already, and me'ohar is late. How about this one? Od, I think that's od mukdam. Od mukdam. Yeah, that's right.
עוד מוקדם.
Oh, ad mukdam.
עוד מוקדם.
Okay. Ad mukdam. All right. Let's see here. All right, so that's good to know there. Lehatil. Look at that one there. Lehatil. So they're going to show us a new verb form. Lehatil. To get up.
להתחיל. להתחיל.
Lehatihil.
להתחיל.
Okay, to get up. Okay, so there is our verb form. Now look at this right here. Lehatil, to get up. Matil, he got up. That's masculine singular. Matahila, she got up. Feminine singular. Matahilim, we could say they got up, like him. They. And that's mixed plural. Or matahilot, they, we could say hen with a nun sofit, and that is strictly they, feminine plural. Okay, so they. So basically you've got four forms of a verb. Remember, they have to match gender and number. So you've got to have the masculine singular, you got to have the feminine singular, you got to have the mixed plural. Why mixed plural? Because if you have, and it does sound a bit sexist in Hebrew, but grammatically, this is how it is. If you've got in a group of people and you've got 19 women and one man, guess what? It defaults to the masculine plural. I know women, they think, well, that's sexist. Okay. But it is grammatically, that's how it is. But in the feminine plural, there should not be a single man in there. It's all women. But it's not exactly the same when you have a mixed crowd. Because if there's at least one man, grammatically it is the masculine plural. I like to call it the mixed plural because you might have men and women in there, but it defaults to the masculine plural. So this is the one we're going to be looking at right here. Lahatil, to get up. Okay, or begin. It could be begin, commence, break down, launch, open, lead off.
להתחיל.
Yeah, to begin.
להתחיל. להתחיל. להתחיל.
Yeah, to begin. That's right.
להתחיל.
So he began. Matil would be began. Matila would be she began. Matilim would be they began. Matilot would be they, feminine plural, began. Or commence. Okay, the verb lehatil, to start, can refer to either the start of an event or start of an action. Okay, look at that there. Start of an event or start of an action. When referring to an event, okay, let's take a look at this. Masiba Seret, this is a movie here. Shiorim, these are classes. About avoda, that's work. Masiba. That's party.
מסיבה, מסיבה.
Okay, so we got a party one here. Masiba. Okay, so lathil means the beginning. Okay, so it's the start of a masiba, a party, a movie, a shiurim, these are classes, or avoda, is followed by a time expression. For example, let's take a look at this one. Hashiur, so the lesson, mathil, starts, basha'a, in the hour, ekat esre, which is at 11. This ekat is 1, and that's 10. So it's like 1 plus 10. 1 plus 10, that equals 11. That's how that's working there in the Hebrew. So class starts at 11. All right. How about this one? Tokanit HebrewUnit3Lesson35B. I think that Tokanit might be like a program. Tokanit HebrewUnit3Lesson35B. Yeah, that's right.
תוכנית הטלוויזיה. תוכנית הטלוויזיה.
Yeah, Tokanit HebrewUnit3Lesson35B. Okay, so the program on the television, a matahila, notice it's in the feminine singular. Why? Well, take a look at this televisio word. It's feminine singular too. It has to be, as they say in the South, matchy, matchy. Matchy, matchy, all right. Okay, so me'ohar. Okay, so we have Tokanit HebrewUnit3Lesson35B. So the program on the television, matahila, begins me'ohar, late.
תוכנית הטלוויזיה.
Okay, so. All right, a time expression does not need to be included if the time is implicitly understood. For example, look at this. Shaket means quiet. Quiet, shaket. If you say to your children, shaket, shaket, quiet, quiet. Hasirit matahila, the movie is starting. Okay. I think it says shikit. Shikit. Yeah, that's right. Shikit.
שקט. שקט.
Yeah, shikit. Quiet, quiet. Shikit, quiet. Hasirt matil. The movie is starting. Okay, when referring to an action, lehatil, to begin, is followed by another verb in the infinitive form. Okay, so for example, we have Adon Rosenberg. This is Mr. Rosenberg. Matil begins lil mode, to study Ivrit, Hebrew. Okay, he begins to study lil mode, to study Ivrit, Hebrew. All right, how about this one? Anaknu matahilim, we are beginning what? Le'avod, to work. Mukdam baboker. Mukdam, remember that's early. Baboker, early in the morning. We start working early in the morning. Okay, so lehatil, this is to begin, belongs to hif'il. Notice this binyan. Remember, I've talked about this before. This word right here literally means building. But if you take this over here and you make a menorah, I'm going to make a menorah here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's put a middle one there. Okay, so there should be 7 branches. Okay, so this is my menorah. Let's make it a little better here. Okay, so this is what this is talking about right here. This binyan is like the structure of a menorah. And each of these tines, I'll call them tines, kind of like the same word you use for a pitchfork, but they're like pointy things. Okay, so each of these has basically a verb form. So In other words, in a verb, what it means is there's an action that's being expressed outward. Tommy ran to the store. It's expressed outward. Or another one of these might be an action that is expressed inward. Tommy thought to himself. Okay, all of them have these patterns in the verb form. They have these patterns, whether it's action inward, whether it's action outward, whether it's, there's 7 of these aspects. And it's quite a study to get into this. In fact, I went through one of these books with one of my study partners years ago, and we studied each one of these various verb forms. And so that's what this is about here. This binyan, hif'il, is one of these. It's one of these types of verb forms that describe action happening in some way. Okay, so lehatil belongs to the binyan hif'il verb form. Remember that binyan simply means structure or building, but I like to put the menorah as an example because it's got 7 of those. There's 7 of them. All right, so the binyan piel, the present tense of the binyan hif'il, is characterized by a mem. So notice there's signal letters on each of these. I call them signal letters because they let you know which structure that verb belongs to and which type of action is happening. Recall that this mem is not a root letter. Okay, that's right, because it's kind of like a signal letter, essentially. Examine the relationship between the infinitive form and the present form. The two are nearly identical, aside from the mem in the present tense versus lecha in the infinitive. Okay, let's take a look at this down here. This is Targil Echat, exercise 1. Targil Echat. Yeah.
תרגיל אחת. תרגיל אחת.
All right, so Para ukatuv. Okay, so read and write. We've got shesh here, 6. Mishpatim, sentences. Im, with. Milim, these are words. Mikol tur. I think this mikol tur might be like the diagram. Let's take a look at that. Kara ukatuv shesh mishpatim im milim mikol tur. Yeah. And it should be tet.
קרא כתוב 6 משפטים עם המילים מכל טור.
Yeah, mikol tur.
קרא כתוב 6 משפטים עם המילים מכל טור.
Okay, so mikol, from each. Remember that kol word means all or every, and the mem preposition means from. So it's like from every tur is column. The tur is the column. Okay, so basically we're going to read and write 6 sentences with the words. Now these are the words here. So basically it's a match game here. Essentially what this is. We're matching things to work with the language. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one here. So number 1, basically we have to take this right here and match it to the gender and number of this side. It has to match in some way. We have to use a verb form to study, to work, to see the television, to do lessons, work. Looks like avodah hadasha would be like new work. Looks like something like that, new work. Avodah hadasha. Yeah, it's like a new job.
עבודה חדשה. עבודה חדשה.
Yeah, avodah hadasha is like a new job. Okay, all right. So we've got now here is these are the subjects. The movie. We've got mishak. Look at this one. Hakadore. What's that one? Well, take a look at that one. Misak Hakador Gil. Oh, the football game.
משחק הכדורגל.
It looks like Hakadoregil.
משחק הכדורגל.
Okay, so notice the regel in there. That means feet.
משחק הכדורגל.
Okay, so it's like mishak is game, and then it's like the ball foot. The ball foot.
משחק הכדורגל.
Hakadoregil.
משחק הכדורגל.
Okay, so this is football here. Adon Zahavi, that's a subject matter there, Mr. Zahavi. We've got Hamisa, this looks like Hamisabot Be Universita. Hamasibot. Let's take a look at that one. Hamisibot Be Universita. Yeah, that's right, the parties at the university.
המסיבות באוניברסיטה. המסיבות באוניברסיטה.
Okay, so see, these are the parties in the university. I don't know why they're partying in the university. They must not be serious about their education. I never went to a single party when I was in school. Oy vey, I don't know. All right, maybe they need to blow off some steam. Maybe we should cut them a little slack. Hashiorim Shali. Okay, the classes belong to me. Halimodim Be'universita. Halimodim Be'universita. Okay, that's university studies. So lilamod means to study, right?
הלימודים באוניברסיטה.
Halimodim Be'universita. So these are like the studies in the university. Okay, how about this one? Hashotfa Shel Shira. This is like the partner belonging to Shira. So it's like her roommate. Hashotfa Shel Shira. Yeah. Yeah.
השותפה של שירה. השותפה של שירה.
Okay, Hashotfa Shira. So this is like the partner or roommate. And this is Shel belonging to Shira. This is the personal pronoun of a girl. That's her name, Shira. So it would be spelled out like that, Shira in English. All right, so these are all of our subjects here. And then we have to take this right here, matil. Sam, we have to put it in the gender and number that reflects these here. We got to have gender and number, and it's got to be reflected in this right here. And then we have to add this right here. It's like a verb. It's like a verb type thing. And then we got to match it with that there. Okay, so essentially, with all these choices, it's very unlikely that we're going to get exactly what the answer key says. The purpose of this exercise is simply to make sure gender and number match and that the sentence somehow makes sense. That's the idea. Okay, so let's start out with this one here. This is an easy one. Haseret, the movie. And so now remember, to take this matil, we have to figure out what the gender is and the number is of what we're talking about. Because remember, this matil means begin. Matil. Yeah.
מתחיל. מתחיל.
Okay, so that's now haseret. So what we have to do is use another program that I have. It's called Pa'alim. And what Pa'alim does is it gives you gender and number, and it puts these verbs into structure and nouns into structure. So we're going to put seret in there, which is movie, right? Let's use a tet, not a tav. There we go. That's right. So let's see here. A film. Okay, now we're going to check this out. It's masculine. It's masculine. Okay, so now we know that this is masculine now. Masculine singular. And so this is going to stay the same, matil. So let's put that down there. Okay, so we have Haseret Matil. So what do we have so far? The movie is starting about, let's see here. The movie is starting. Oh, there it is. This is the obvious one right here, because this says to study. No, that doesn't work. This says to work, has something to do with work. Doesn't have anything to do with the movie. How about this one? La'asot shiurim, doing the classes, to do the classes. No, has nothing to do with the movie. A movie is, it's entertainment. Avodah hadasha, new job. A movie? No, has nothing to do with that. There's only one obvious conclusion here. Lirot televizia. The movie is starting to show on the television. Lirot televizia. So let's put that one in there. Looks like we're going to run out of space here, but we'll get the general idea. Okay, so the movie is starting on the so let's put that in there. I want to make sure grammatically we've got this right. Haseret matehil lirot televizia. Yeah, the movie starts. Now they've got to see. The movie is starting to see on the television.
הסרט מתחיל לראות טלוויזיה.
So I wonder if they want us to alter some of these. I have a feeling they might want us to alter some of these in here, so that it matches grammatically, because this doesn't quite make sense. To see on the television. So we've got to make it say the movie is starting about row A televizia. Let's put that in there. Row A. Okay, well, let's not get bogged down in this. Let's see if we can get it something. This movie is starting to see on the televizia. Haseret. How about this? Basif temever. Matai. Matai is, oh, okay, maybe when. We could put this, when. Matai. Matai. Yeah. The movie starts on the television when?
הסרט מתחיל רואה טלוויזיה מתי.
Okay, so when does the movie start? When does the movie start? When does the beginning to see the movie start? Essentially what that is, I think that would work, because we could still maintain this lirot televizia and matai. So when does the beginning of the movie start? Okay, I think that'll work. We can try that. Let's do another one here. How about we use this one? Misahak hakadoregel. Misahak hakadoregel. Yeah, the football game.
משחק הכדורגל. משחק הכדורגל.
Okay, so Mishak Katogoregel. I think probably this is going to stay the same right here. Matil begins. Let's see here. Well, that also could be this one right here. Lirot televizia. On the television, it's not going to be this one. It's not going to be any of these classes. Not going to be new job. It's going to be this one too. So it's starting on the television. See on the television. How about this one? Me'ohar be'erev. After, let's see, after the evening. But maybe it's a late night show. Me'ohar be'erev. Yeah, late in the evening.
מאוחר בערב.
Okay, so we could use this here. We could connect this here. We could see movie is starting, you're able to see it on the television, Me'ohar be'erev. Okay, so that works too. All right, so that's number 2. I think instead of writing them all out, I'm just going to kind of go down through here. How about Adon Zahavi, Mr. Zahavi? Okay. Matahil, he begins what? Mr. Zahavi begins what? Let's see here. How about he begins La'asot Shiorim. He begins doing the classes Basha'a Ekot Isra. He, in the hour of 11. He begins doing the classes in the hour of 11. Okay, so we can make that work. How about this one right here? Hamisabot Universita. These are the university parties, right? Hamisabot Universita. Hamisabot. There we go. Come on now. Hamisivot. That's what it is.
המסיבות באוניברסיטה.
Okay, so how about the parties at the university? Now notice that these parties here this is feminine plural. So I think it's going to be a matahilot. Let's try that. Matahilot. Or maybe it's matahilim. Matahilim. No, I think it's going to be, let's take at our chart here. We need to look at our chart. It's going to be this one right here. Matahilot. There we go. Matahilot. Matilot. Okay, there we go.
המסיבות באוניברסיטה מתחילות.
Yeah, matilot are starting.
המסיבות באוניברסיטה מתחילות.
Okay, so matahilot. So this is going to be, this one's going to be altered here to match this. Matilot. So they are, the parties in the university are starting La'asot shi'urim. Avodah are starting. Boy, none of these make sense with that, do they? To study, that doesn't make sense with parties. Le'avod, to work, that doesn't make sense with parties. The only one that kind of makes sense is it they're watching parties? No, that doesn't really make sense. La'asot shi'urim, to do the classes. Doing the classes, that doesn't make sense with parties. Avodah hadashah. So I'm not sure how they can get this to fit in there. The parties in the university are beginning what? I'm not sure we can make that fit with any of these here. We've got acharei hahadashot. This is after the new. Mukdam baboker, not early in the morning. Akshav. Now this akshav means now. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with this here, because none of these in this column, to my notice, will work grammatically with that there. So maybe what we have to do is just scratch that out. And we'll go on to the next one. Okay, hashiurim shali, the classes belonging to me. Okay, so notice that it's talking about classes. So we're going to use matahilim. So basically, we have to put this like that on there. Matahilim. Okay, so the classes belonging to me are beginning what? Let's take a look at that la'avod there. Le'avod. Yeah.
לעבוד.
Okay, classes beginning to me are beginning avodah hadashah, are beginning, let's see. I'm not seeing anything in there that works with all that. Let's take a look at our answer key. I'm kind of getting curious here to see what they've got. Let's get rid of this one here. All right, let's take a look at this here. Let's see what they've got. Mesivot University. So these are the parties in the university. That was the one I was wondering about. Look at this one right here. Matihilo. I got that right. Look at this right here. Meuhar be'erev. Okay, so they did not necessarily take one from that other column. You don't have to take one from that column if it doesn't make sense. Okay, I get what they're doing now. I thought maybe they were forcing us to use every column. We don't have to use every column. And that makes sense. Meuhar be'erev. Okay, so matahivot ba'universita. So the parties in the university, matahilot, are beginning meuhar be'erev. They are after the evening. They're late at night, essentially. Let's take a look at this one right here. Matai Adon Zahavi. So when does Mr. Zahavi? Notice this. You don't have to have it in the same order. That was the other thing I didn't realize. I was trying to put everything in the same order. This matai, that was in the last column, and they're sticking it there at the beginning of the sentence. So when Adon Zahavi, Matil, when he begins Avodah Hadashah, when does he begin the new job? So basically, we're just taking every column and we can put it in whatever order we want. All right, I'm getting that now. Number 3, Misahak. Look at this. Hakadur Regel. Hakadur. This is the football game. Matil begins. Akare. This is after Hahadashot. Let's see, after what? Hahadashot. Akare Hahadashot. Yeah, after the news.
אחרי החדשות.
That's right. Akare Hahadashot. This is the news here. Akare Hahadashot. Okay, number 4, Hashotfa. This is like the partner, Shel Shira, belonging to Shira. Matahila. Notice they have a feminine singular there. That's got to match up with Shira. But actually, it's got to match up with Hashotfa. Okay, so Matahila La Asot Shiurim. These are she's beginning the classes. She's starting the classes. Mukdam. Baboker. Mukdam is like I think that's the Mukdam Baboker. Okay, early in the morning.
מוקדם בבוקר.
Okay, so her classes are starting early in the morning. All right, so at least now I know that we can mix these columns up. Halimodim ba'universita. Halimodim ba'universita. Halimodim ba'universita. University studies.
הלימודים באוניברסיטה.
Okay, matahilim, okay, are beginning. And notice that this has to match over here. Gender and plus number. What's this here? Basif temever. Basif temever. Matahilim, basif temever. Yeah, in September.
הלימודים באוניברסיטה מתחילים בספטמבר.
Notice that's literally a transliteration of an English month name. But September. All right. All right, number 6. Hashiorim Shali, the classes belonging to me. Matahilim are beginning. Basha'a Echat Ve'esra. Echat Ve'esra, in the hour of 11. So the classes belonging to me, they're starting in the hour of 11. All right. How about this one? Haseret Matil, the movie, let's see, the movie begins Akshav, now. The movie begins now. Haseret Matil Akshav. Yeah.
הסרט מתחיל עכשיו. הסרט מתחיל עכשיו.
Yeah, Akshav. Okay. Haseret Matil Akshav. All right. Well, that was kind of a fun one, but it was kind of confusing because I didn't realize that you didn't have to use everything in the column, and you could switch the columns around just to make something up. All right, so that's kind of fun. Okay, so that takes care of Targil Echat. All right, let's take a look at this one. Targil Shtayim. Targil Shtayim. Exercise 2. So Hashalem b'mishpatim. So complete these sentences. How about Hashutma Bapuel lehatil. Okay, so basically we are, it's actually hashotmish. I think that means in the form of hashotmish bapuel lehatil. Uh-oh, we're gonna have to put that in there again. Hashotmish. It's hashotmish. All right, use.
השתמש.
Hishtamesh.
השתמש.
I don't see that one very often. Hishtamesh.
השתמש.
Okay, hishtamesh. Look at that. Use. Hishtamesh. Hishtamesh. Use. Bapuel, that's the verb form. Bapuel la hatil. Hat. Okay. I guess we need a ayin. Okay, use the verb to begin.
השתמש בפועל להתחיל.
Bafuel,
השתמש בפועל להתחיל.
lehatil, befual. So this is the verb form, lehatil. Okay, so hishtamesh, begin, or use rather, hishtamesh, bapuel, lehatil. Befuel. This is the verb form, lehatil, it means to begin. All right, so basically we gotta take from this here. Lehatil. So it's going to be matil, it's going to be matila, it's going to be matilim, or it's going to be matilot, depending on what we've got. Okay, so Ronit, this is a feminine girl, feminine singular. Ronit Okelet is eating orochat boker. She's eating breakfast. Orochat boker. Orochat boker. Okay, so renote Ronit Okelet orochat boker. Ronit Okelet Ruchat Boker. Yeah, Ronit eats breakfast.
רונית אוכלת ארוחת בוקר. רונית אוכלת ארוחת בוקר.
Okay, so she eats breakfast. Ve'achar kach. Let's see, and after ve'achar chach. Let's take a look at that. I think that's achar. Might be like and other what? And then, that's right, and after, so this is the late one. And after and then, basically these two together is like and then. Okay, and then what? It's going to have to do with something like and then begins. Okay, so she's eating breakfast. Ve'achar chak.
רונית אוכלת ארוחת בוקר ואחר כך.
Ve'achar chak.
רונית אוכלת ארוחת בוקר ואחר כך.
Okay, and then so we're going to put matihila, and then begins, right? Matahila. Come on, matila. It's got to be matila. Matila. There we go. And then starts.
רונית אוכלת ארוחת בוקר ואחר כך מתחילה.
Matila. Okay, so we're going to put the matila in there, which is a form of this one here. Okay, okay, so and then, and so this is like an after then, and then it's like and then matihila, and then start. So that's what we should see there, matila in number 1. These ones I think are going to be, they're definite. They're either right or wrong. There's no wiggle room here, I don't think. Let's get rid of this one here. All right, so here we go. Oh, look at this. They want us to put a bunch of other stuff in there. Okay, Ronit Okalet, Arochat Boker. Okay, so Ronit is eating breakfast, Arochat Boker, and then after, look at all this they put in here. He matila. Well, we got this right. That's the most important part to get right. And she begins la'asot et hashiorim. She begins to do what? Et hashiorim. She begins to do her lessons. That's essentially what that's saying there. But the most important thing is to get this gender number thing right. All right, number 2, blank akare harashot batelevizia. So after the let's see, the news. After the news is that's the news. Harashot is the news on the television. Akare harashot batelevizia.
אחרי החדשות בטלוויזיה.
Okay, you know what we could put in there is that football one. The football show begins אחרי החדשות בטלוויזיה. Okay, so we can use this one here. Hamasibot. Wait a minute, not that one. We need this one right here. Mishak. Hakadoregel. Misak. Misak hakadoregel. There we go, the football game.
משחק הכדורגל.
Okay, all right, let's try that. Misak hakadoregel. Okay, so Misak hakadoregel. So this is the football game, and we have to use a part of this right here to match in there. And we're going to say begins after harashot batelevizia, after the news on the television. So it's a late football game. So basically, which one are we using here? I think it's going to be a masculine. So it's going to be matil. Matil. Ahare harashot batelevizia. Yeah.
משחק הכדורגל מתחיל אחרי החדשות בטלוויזיה.
Okay, so we're going to use matil, which is the masculine singular. Okay, so that's the form of this right here that's in the masculine singular. And it has to match Misahak Hakadoregel, which is the football game. And then when does it start? Acharei hahadashot betelevizia, after the news on the television. All right, so let's see if they put this in here. That seems to make sense. Okay, oh, look at this, what they chose to use. Haseret matahila. Oh, what do we do here? There we go. They've got Haseret Matil. Okay, well, the movie also has the same masculine singular gender and number. So that works too. I can never remember that name for game, but it's the football game. Okay, so that works. That works just as well. Akare hahadashot batelevizia. All right, number 3. Let's take a look at this one. Hayeladim yoshvim. So the children are sitting basheket. They're sitting in quiet. they're sitting in quiet. Kashay, remember that they're sitting in quiet when something starts. Hayeladim yoshvim b'sheket. Yeah, the children are sitting quietly.
הילדים יושבים בשקט.
Okay, and then when are they sitting quietly? When they. And we're going to put kashehem. Yeah, kashehem.
הילדים יושבים בשקט כשהם.
Okay, when they, how about are watching a movie? Are watching movies? We could put that. Wait a minute, we got to have something that does with beginning. So how about when the movie begins? Kashehem. Okay, so when they, roim, let's see, when, how about when? Let's not put keshehem there. Let's how about keshe haseret, when the movie haseret. We get it to work? Yeah.
הילדים יושבים בשקט כשהסרט.
Keshe when the movie. Usually kids will sit for a movie. Okay, keshe haseret. So this is all one word right here. When the movie, and we're going to use the begins. So let's put matil. 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 Yeah, when the movie starts.
הילדים יושבים בשקט כשהסרט מתחיל.
Okay, matil. Okay, so. Okay, so what we have is hayeladim yoshvim. The children are sitting b'sheket, in quiet. Keshe haseret, when the movie matil, when the movie starts. All right, let's see what they have for number 3. Okay, number 3, we have hayeladim yoshvim b'sheket. Oh, look at this, what they've got here. Keshe sevo matil. Oh, they've got lesefer, lehem, let's see, sipur. Okay, so let's take a look at this keshe sabo. I'm not sure what that one is. Oh, when her grandfather, Sava.
כשסבא.
Yeah, keshe sava. Okay, when the grandfather begins lispor, to tell, lahem, to them, sipor, stories. When the grandfather begins to say to them stories. Matil, lispor, lahem, sipur. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be, it's not lispor, it's lesefer. Has to do with telling. Yeah, telling them a story.
כשסבא מתחיל לספר להם סיפור. כשסבא מתחיל לספר להם סיפור.
לספר להם סיפור.
כשסבא מתחיל לספר להם סיפור.
Okay, לספר means starts to tell to them sipor, stories. Okay, so yeah, this is the so that's how they did. Isn't that a neat sentence that they put in there? I like that. I don't know. Do children today really sit quietly when older people are telling them stories? In America, I don't have much hope for children's ability, their attention span, but maybe in Israel, maybe in Israel, maybe among Jewish communities, there's more hope that children will sit quietly when an older man in the family, a grandfather, is telling the story. Maybe I'm too cynical. Yah help me. Let's see. Look at this one. Keshe professor. Look at that. Keshe professor. Niknos enters lakita. Okay, so Keshe ha-professor. Now notice this professor. It's a transliteration of an English word. Keshe ha-professor. Okay, so when the professor Niknas enters lakita, the class. So remember, we have to get something here that matches that situation, and it's got to be beginning something. How about who? When he enters the class, he begins. Let's see. Who matil hashiorim, the lesson. Hashior. How about he begins the lesson? Who matil hashior. He starts the lesson. Okay, so let's put that in there. So, keshe professor niknas lakita. So when the professor niknas enters lakita, the class, we're going to use matil. Matil hashior. He starts the lesson. Okay, who matil hashior. He starts the lesson. Let's see what they've got for number 4. Looks like they were kind of on the same wavelength as me. Keshe ha-professor. Oh, so when the professor Niknas enters lakita to the class, hashior matil, the lesson begins. Look at how they put it. They just put simply the lesson begins. Hashior matil. I just put who matil hashior. He begins the lesson. All right, number 5. We're going to finish up on this exercise because we're definitely running over an hour. How about this one? Keshe ima, when mother, yotzet, I think that's yotzat, mehabayit. Let's see here. I think that yotzat means is leaving. Keshe ima, yotzat, mehabayit. Yeah, mom leaves the house.
כשאימא יוצאת מהבית. כשאימא יוצאת מהבית.
כשאימא יוצאת מהבית. Okay, from the house.
כשאימא יוצאת מהבית.
Okay, so what starts when mama leaves the house? Do the kids have parties? That might be a fun one to do. Hayeladim. Let's see. Hayeladim, matahilim begin playing. Misa Hakim. How about Misa Hakim? They begin playing. Keshaima yotzet mehabayit. The kids begin. It's kind of like the old saying, when the cat's away, the mice begin to play. Oy vey. All right, let's try that. Let's put that in there. Hayeladim, matahilim, Misa Hakim.
הילדים מתחילים משחקים.
Let's put that one in there. Hayeladim. Let me tell you, I raised 3 boys and a daughter, and that is true. When the parents leave the domain where the children are, oh boy, party breaks out because, it's free time. But I spent a lot of time teaching my kids. So, maybe they thought, oh, this is our chance. Okay, so hayeladim matahilim. Now, why are we using matahilim, a form of this right here? Because it's got to match the children. Hayeladim matahilim, and then misa hakim. They start to play, right? That's a bad kof right there. Let's try to straighten that out. All right, here's our kof. Okay, so we have a misa hakim. So we have hayeladim, matahilim, misa hakim. So the children, they begin to play. Kasheima yotzet, when mother leaves mehabiyat, when mother leaves from the house. Now that does make sense. So let's see what they have in their answer key, number 5. Now check this one out. They've got Shira, Matahila. Okay, so Shira begins ledaber, to speak, but telephone on the telephone with let's see, hahavarot shala, went with her friends. Now this hahavarot shala might be her this is like girlfriends, I think. Shira matahila ledaber, but telephone im hahavara. Oh, hahavarot. Hahavarot shala. Yeah. Okay, Shira matahila. Shira begins matahila, to speak, but telephone, on the telephone, im, with hahavarot shala, with her friends.
שירה מתהילה לדבר בטלפון עם החברות שלה.
Okay, so when mother leaves the house. So apparently she's not allowed to really talk to her friends, maybe, or maybe it's just a free time. She can talk freely to her friends when mother leaves the house. Kasheima yotzet mehabayit. Okay, well, that makes sense, but I think mine was funnier. Because, when the cat's away, the mice will play. All right, so. All right, so here we go. Number 6 is the last one for today. Ani lo rotze, so I do not want what? Beshe'a me'oharet. I didn't want to begin what? In the hour. Beshe'a me'oharet. Yeah, in a late hour.
בשעה מאוחרת. בשעה מאוחרת.
Okay, so I don't want to begin. I don't want to. Let's see, I don't want, and we got to use the begin one. So it's going to be matil. I don't want to begin what? How about to study? Lilamod. Ani lo rotse matil lilamod basha'a me'oharet. Oh, we're going to be using something different here. We're going to use matahila. Why are we using matahila? Matahila. Matila. There we go. Okay, so.
אני לא רוצה מתחילה ללמוד בשעה מאוחרת.
Okay, so this is rotsa, not rotse. Okay, so let's try to put this in here. Ani lo rotsa. Why are we using rotsa, not rotse? Because look at this right here. This is the only clue we're getting. It is a feminine singular. So let's put this here. Matahila. Okay, so Anilo Rotsa Matahila. I don't want to start Lila mode to study. Let's see, Basha'a. That carries right over here. Basha'a Me'oharet. I don't want to start studying late.
אני לא רוצה מתחילה ללמוד בשעה מאוחרת.
Okay, me'oheret. All right, let's see if their answer reflects the feminine singularity of that there. That'll be an interesting clue, won't it? Let's take a look here, what they've got. Anilo rotsa. Look at this. Lehatil, to begin lilamod, to begin to study. That works too. Basha'a me'oheret. I don't want to begin to study in a late hour. That's essentially what that's saying. Well, that works just fine too. Mine worked and this one works. Anilo rotsa lahatil lilamod basha'a me'oheret. I don't want to start studying late.
אני לא רוצה להתחיל ללמוד בשעה מאוחרת. אני לא רוצה להתחיל ללמוד בשעה מאוחרת.
Okay. All right. So I think, I put quite a bit of effort on this class today. And I'm feeling a little more comfortable with those verb forms now. All right, so we did this here, and next time we will look at this one here. If I can get it. All right, we'll mark that up. We'll get rid of all these marks. We're making progress. We are making progress. Yah be praised. So let's see what else we have here. Lakum, let's see here. Okay, so it looks like we've got one more. Actually, I don't want to drag this on. We're already at an hour 36. So next time we'll pick this up here and then we'll start a new lesson. You're welcome, Lori. And I hope this recording will be for people and so they can take advantage of it. And we'll try to get to some more of it. Also, remember, for those who are out there, remember Midweek Manna tonight, 8 p.m. We've got Brother James Kramer. He's going to be teaching on America's foundations. A lot of historical information. So for all of you guys out there, please come to Midweek Manna tonight at 8. We'll have some music. I think we'll have a health minute. I'm trying to remember. Yes, we've got Brother Giacomo for the health minute. We don't have a watchman this week because I wanted to elongate the time frame for Brother James because he needs more than 20 minutes to do Midweek Manna. All right. So with all of that, I will say shalom, shalom, everyone, and keep working on it. Do the best you can, little by little, here a little, there a little, line upon line, precept upon precept, or as we say in Hebrew, grammar rule upon grammar rule, and you'll get there eventually. Shalom, shalom.